Get up, get up. Hey. Show that progress, let them see it working. Wrong or right, still learn from the play. Follow the rules, then we move our way. Put the work in. Late nights, early morning, still searching. Win or lose, don't throw it away. Study the move, then come back the next day. Alarm go off, gotta rise from the bed. Dreams don't move if they stay in your head. Feet hit the floor, mind on the mission. Small steps stack when you trust repetition. Some days green, some days red. Still gotta learn what the last move said. Can't skip rules just to chase that feeling. Strong foundation, put cracks in the ceiling. Show your work, let the progress talk. Step by step, let the whole thing walk. If you fall, get facts from the fall. Take that lesson and answer the call. No shame in being wrong. If you grow, no gain in moving fast with no control. Plan in your hand, eyes on the way. Patience gets paid when discipline stays. Put the work in. Show that progress, let them see it working. Wrong or right, still learn from the play. Follow the rules, then we move our way. Put the work in. Late nights, early morning, still searching. Win or lose, don't throw it away. Study the move, then come back the next day. Pressure get loud, but the plan stay quiet. Everybody talks, only few really try. You want results, gotta build that range. Can't feel lost if you came here to change. Write it down, mark the reason. Track the work through every season. If it don't hit, then review that choice. Clean up the noise, then sharpen your voice. Stack good habits like blocks in a wall. 1 week rule can't shake it all. So stay on script when emotions arise. Truth shows up when you analyze. No magic trick, no lucky lane. Just sweat, but focus, lesson pain. Then one day they see what you made, not from guessing, from the work you laid.
Lock in when it's boring. Lock in when it's slow.
Lock in.
Lock in when nobody sees.
That's how progress shows.
Learn from the mist.
Build from the sky. Follow the rules. Raise the bar.
Put the work in.
Show that progress, let them see you working. Wrong or right, still learn from the play. Follow the rules, then we move our way.
Put the work in.
Late nights, early morning, still searching. Win or lose, don't throw it away. Study the move, then come back the next day. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Lock in. Show work. Learn more. Follow rules. Stay ready. Put the work in.
Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for jumping in today. We'll be looking over some new things on Strike and everything. Today they added a new stock from the, I do believe, the Korean stock exchange. It is a chip manufacturer. It's SKHYNIX. Mouthful. That's a mouthful for sure. So we want to look at that and show you some of the new things that they've added from yesterday. They do add quite a bit of stuff. The development team is very active and everything. And we're also going to show you what's going on in the vault and how we're still earning 150% plus APR on our stables that we have. So if you have stable coins in the Solana market or in the EVM market or in the Cardano market, you can put them into the Strike liquidity vault and earn right now about 150% APR. Now that's not going to stay. That's not the traditional. That's not the standard. It's not just a static APR. It is actually using those funds to provide liquidity to people like me that come and trade on their perpetuals platform. So that is opening the other side of the trade against traders like myself or other people's bots or other things like that. So the reason why there is 100%, 150% APR right now is because the market maker is winning versus the traders on the platform. And if you believe that the house always wins, then this provides you the opportunity to use some of your stable coins and put them to work to earn you some more stable coins. And those stable coins can be withdrawn in whichever chain that you want them to be withdrawn in. So if you're a Solana person and you have a Solana wallet and Solana stables, you can provide those to the Strike liquidity pool, or get the opportunity to earn those 150% plus APR right now. And then when you do want to remove your liquidity, you remove your stablecoin liquidity plus your profits in that same stablecoin that you provided. Or another one, if you so choose to just use that platform to transition your funds. Um, Whichever way you want to do it. If you have an Ethereum wallet and you have Ethereum USDC, you can use that and provide it. You don't actually have to have a Cardano wallet. You don't have to care about the Cardano chain. You don't have to care about how we operate or anything else like that. All you have to do is want that 150% or whatever it could be APR in stables. We're not locking up stables and providing you strike token at 150% APR. Although you might actually get more people on the Cardano chain if you did that, but hey, whatever. That's my own bias on the token price and everything. So that's just a little bit about this. So let me jump in here and we'll jump over here. All right, so you can kind of see this still. Let me zoom in a little more. So there we go. So when you get in here and you get your wallets attached, whichever wallet you're going to use from whichever chain you're going to use to connect to this decentralized perpetuals exchange, you deposit those stable coins or whatever you're going to use from whichever chain you're going to use it on, and then you're able to come and deposit it into the Strike liquidity provider, and get the opportunity at this 150% plus APR right now. These are other people's things. This is a Strike Vision deal. They're like longing Sol, ADA, and XRP or something, and that's all this is doing. And then this is a community one that they created. Somebody in the community or something like that created a bot strategy. And if you wanted to, you could put it in there, but there is a fee of 25% that they have set up here. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to those things on other people's. And this also gives you the opportunity to open up your own vault bot strategy for other people to provide liquidity to as well. So if you wanted to, you can come over here, and this is like my position that I have in the Strike liquidity provider pool here. So my vault value right now is $161 here, with a total P&L right now of $15 to that. So if you look at the 30-day performance, the 30-day return is 12.73% with a realized P&L of over $125,000 dollars right now. Max drawdown was not even 1%. Not even 1%. And the biggest thing here, guys, is they don't take a fee. So it doesn't cost you anything. They're not taking any money from running the bot, from the strategy, from giving you that opportunity at the yield or anything like that. And then here is its P&L over time. Less liquidity here. We added more liquidity in the beginning of June here. And then it's gone up more with the market volatility and more people adding to the liquidity and other things like that there. And then you can come down here and you can see all the positions that it is it has. So I do believe there's 17 tradable items on the Strike platform, and you can see here that it's just constantly opening and closing positions across the entire market. So it is operating and creating the market volume that is on the chart here. And it also lets you see kind of what they're in, and how they're kind of working here. Um, so let's get over to the trade portion. Let's get a little smaller so we have a little more in here. So just to look at some of the charts and everything, on my right side here, I do have the trading view. And that allows me to have my chart prime indicators over here. This is the two chart prime indicators here. And then I have a lot more things I can add onto the chart from chart prime as well. So, we have Market Oracle Pro Plus. We have the 3-day trend. That one might be a free one. And then we have the Market Oracle Pro. And then the prime oscillators that you have here, that I have this one as the MVP oscillator. And this one is their full like RSI suite and everything else here, with a couple different things that's on there. And this indicator here is the indicator from Alex O. If you know, you know. If you don't, you need to figure out how to know. And the way you figure out how to know is you get over to his Discord, and or his website, and you join his community. It is a premium Discord community, but there's a lot of people in there. That's where I learned the final portions of what I do believe I think I have gotten well enough that I can get on here and track my journey like he has as well. I'm starting with much smaller positions than what he operates with. But hey, we'll see what works here. Yesterday's stream, I was talking about how we may come down into this pocket here and then react, kind of go up, come back down to the golden pocket that was down here, and then go. And I didn't quite get it. I didn't have the tap go way up here, come back, and then come down. That would have liquidated a good amount of people, if they were short, thinking they were going to come down here from here. So that was definitely what the morning pump was yesterday, was taking the liquidity out of the market to the top to come back down. And then just a V-shaped recovery, and now we've just kind of bled back out. So we're going to hydrate real quick. I wonder if you could even see what I was talking about on some of that, since I'm a little too big here. Let me make me smaller. Whee! You don't need to see me too much. All right. Maybe that works a little better there. How y'all doing in there? Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for coming by and listening to me talk about TA and trading and markets and things like that. So this is my morning routine I've got right now. So we're getting in here. I took a trade yesterday. Let's see. We did on Zcash. So let's kind of make sense of what we were doing yesterday. So we were talking about it coming up into this liquidity here, this liquidity here. We were targeting this order block yesterday, so that was where our take profit was set at, was right below this order block from when we got into the stream. And I do believe the long was here. So we took the long here. This didn't quite take our first order, and then I kind of got chopped out a little bit. No, let me get this right here. So there we go. All right, so it was actually here. So we tried to get in here. It almost took our order here when we were in that trade. And then it came back down. We got chopped out. I stopped out for like the fees, which was like 80 cents. And then on the wick, when we wicked down, I said, okay. And then we took it in again. And then we had our stop loss here. Which is good that we had our take profit here, because when it retraced, it would have stopped us out. And then we would have missed all of the run that came afterwards, which we did anyway because we were at work dealing with in real life work crap. Instead of being here to play this move where we could have got back in here. So sure, we got in here, and we could have played this move, at least this one. That was like a 3% move. That would have been great. You could have maybe got back in here, come back up again, or kept it in. So you were at 5%. And then this was a good retest, long, straight up, no drawdown, straight up. That would have been a good play here. Come back down, come sweep the low, get back in, and then roll over. And you rolled over all day. So it's really just trying to see what Bitcoin is going to do today, because Bitcoin's kind of going to run the market. When I was looking at some of the things that that I have set up on pre-market that I can see, you have Tesla. Tesla is down pre-market. You have Netflix. Netflix is down pre-market, not much, like 4 cents. And Apple is actually up now. It was down pre-market. So that's interesting to see. That's not the oil that moves. So this is at least the oil that moves. Oh, maybe they're the same price today or right now. So oil has gone up a little bit, but if they can keep their guns in their pocket over there on the other side of the world, I think oil will eventually come down much further, kind of deal. But Venezuela is having its issues, so there's probably no oil coming out of that country for a hot minute. And I don't think that's priced into this issue here at all either. But maybe not. I'm not an oils person. But hey, whatever's. Then you have Micron. Micron is another tradable item on Strike. So you have Zcash, you have Micron, you have oil, you have Nvidia that you can trade, you have SpaceX that you can trade, you have Hype. I'm trying to get Ford added. Look at Ford come down and pre-market is up. Ford is back up here. But it doesn't matter. We can't trade Ford on Strike. You got gold and silver that you trade, and your your other cryptos there. Brain work. Bitcoin, ADA, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, and etc. So all right, so let's come over here and let's decide what we're gonna kind of trade here. And you need to use the final charting on your exchanges chart, because that's the price that you're actually using. And unless you're able to use TradingView to use the chart of like what you're trading on. But honestly, you would actually really want to use like the highest volume that goes on, which is like Bybit or other things like that. So that provides good ones. And that would have been a good short here on Zcash, to come back down some more. So let's do some TA on Zcash here. It's just coming down, so let's see where it may be coming down to. Get rid of these rectangles. I don't think we need those rectangles anymore, even though they are kind of valid for certain things and everything. So this was this local high that it sat on. So that was why it was sitting there for a while, if you see that. So we can let's put a horizontal ray right there. We'll put that as resistance now, because that was support. So that would be support resistance flip. So we can look for the return and maybe the short again. So that's one thing you have to get your mind in a mindset of is if you're shorting, you want to look for longs, or if the candle is going down, you want to look for opportunities to go long because the market retraces a certain amount even if it's going to go down again. So that's one thing that it took me a minute to understand is, you're like, "Oh, it's going down, short." And then it comes back up and you're like, "Well, what the hell? It took my stop loss." And then all it does is go right back down to where you wanted it to go to. That's where you have to understand that, the order blocks. That was one thing that I was having issues with, is understanding the order blocks, how they work, and what the market maker does according to those order blocks. It's very interesting. Like let's see. Let's talk about this here. So this is an order block here. And what I could be wrong, honestly, but from my understanding is if you see how there is, well, this is not really an order block because it kind of came back up, retested it, and came down, but it could be still valid as an order block there. So there is a candle and then a candle body, and then it would go away. So like this one here is more of an order block. Um, because the price has not retraced to a portion to where it went up and came back through, and there was not sufficient trading in that range. See how there's sufficient trading in this range? There was an order block here, it came down, it came back up, and now it's back, and lost it. There's no more trading in this area, so there was no volume. So when it went to come back up, it came right back up, and now there is sufficient trading volume in this area. You come back up. Now there's a trading imbalance in this area. So you would, expect it to return. Sorry, here we go. Return through the imbalance, and where you would expect it to stop or interact again would be into the order block. Is kind of the way that I understand that to work. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but it's kind of helped me. I've gotten a lot more profitable when we realize those things. Bitcoin is going down a little bit here. That's currently in SFP of this. If we can get that to populate more, we can get it to come back up. Let's put this on the 3-minute so we can see that. Oh, both ends. We just, volume that. So that it's going to be an SFP because it's going to come back up and fill that volume, at least on Blowfin. That would be a bullish divergence here. There's an SFP. If this turns, that would be bullish divergence. Let's see, our money flow is positive. When in my history of looking at this, when you have like a megaphone here, that's when violence is about to happen. And violence, I mean violence in the market, which this is violence in the market. So this one here, the MVP oscillator, is saying that this move has just started. Basically, it could turn and just keep going, but there is, it's basically at the center. You're just now starting to clip a little bit here. And if you look at Alexo's, they're turning down. So you would want to long according to his 3-minute chart indicator. That's only one that it really backtest on. Is when this one is turned red, you don't look for shorts, basically. Don't look for shorts. Don't look for longs. Okay. And then you wait for these two to come back together, and other, things that you would look in to the charts, not just those two lines coming back together and you're like, oh, long. But it does kind of work a little bit like that, but hey, whatever. So I appreciate y'all coming through. If you're in the live, if you're watching this afterwards, since I do go live a little early. But I am looking for Bitcoin to come back up to this level. So that is something that I'm looking for on Bitcoin, honestly. We were talking about Zcash and it coming back up. I don't know what type of percentage move that would be anyway if we got in. That's a little bit. We could take some out of the market for that if that's just where we came back up to. Um, but we would have to get in there. Let's see. What's Zcash looking like over here? Zcash. Um, I think that's still yeah, that's a lower low on RSI. So that's not bullish divergence here on this indicator. Although this indicator is turning up, we are clipping ding, 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 here. Um, not quite ready for the long on Alex O's deal, but we do have the oh, this is the 3 minute. So on the 5 minute is there's definitely order blocks on the 5 minute. So let's show you here. So order block here, and and I I would kind of still consider that one potentially there. So if we got in and we're able to entry here, that's about a 1% to up here. There's not really the order block on this exchange. But get out of my way. Oh, this is bullish divergence here though. This one from here to here, that is bullish here. All right, we're gonna get into this one here. So let's get into this. Place order. All right, and then we're gonna place our stop below the low here. So 38.20. All right, let's make this a little bigger here so we can see a little better. All right, so what did we say? It was 38.20. 38.20. Oh, not what the hell am I doing here? It was 388.20. 38820. There we go. Hey, there it is. All right. So now our target is, where are we looking at targets to take profit at? So we were looking at targets up here, 39240. Is that 392? 39240 is about the middle of this, is the bottom of this one. So that could be where we're looking at there. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing since we already entered the trade. Let's watch Daddy, see what Daddy is going to do. All right, let's see. Was this no bullish divergence there, but we're coming back up, you know, a little bit. If we can just get through this imbalance, that would be good for our trade. We are really zoomed in though. Remember, we're looking at the 5 minute chart. So the candles, each candle is only 5 minutes of trading action. So let's see, come back over here. All right, let's see if there's any news that's going on, anything. So we'll get job openings from Jolt today at 10:09 my time. So that would be definitely after I am off my stream and everything. That'll be right at the end of Alex O's stream. So we may have some market volatility coming into that, which we're kind of seeing. We're trying to capture the return just a little bit. See if we can't get something there. But we have our stop loss set. That's why we have stop losses set, is so you agree to lose this amount of money to have the potential to win this amount of money, if you are correct on the way that the market is moving. That's essentially what it is. And the leverage is you borrowing funds using your margin as the collateral for that borrow that you are doing. And the fees that you pay are basically the loan propagation fee for the leverage that you do take out on the exchange. So let's see what this percent move would be to bottom here. That's a 0.5%. So if you take your calculator and you do 0.5 times your leverage, which is 20, that would be a 10% move in a 10% ROI. And 10% on that would be about $7 of that position that I'm in right now. So that's what that one would be. If we look for any other targets, there's an or very small order block here. Let's draw this very small one on it here. Right. So this is one at the very tippy top. No, here, like I said, that one might be here, but at the same time, we may not be done with this move. So let's zoom out. Let's see where we Fibonacci wise would be coming to. Let's see. So 618 is here. So could be coming here. So we'll change this one to gold. Gold. Okay. There is our macro golden pocket here. Now let's do our retracement from where we left. This is the mini one. This is where we're looking for. So this one here is the top of the 786. So this would be a good one here to look at on where we're going to go to, where we might go to if we don't come here first. So that was probably a poor entry, honestly. Let's move our stop up a little bit. So we moved our stop up. If it comes down, that's fine. We'll take it because it may come down into here now is what I'm looking at, because I kind of took that a little early. And if it comes down here, then that's an SFP of this low right here. So let's put a ray here. And let's make this dotted line. Okay. So maybe not. That looks too like something else. Dotted line. Okay. So we'll call that. That's basically an SFP that we're looking for. We could be looking for it there. All right, let's go back over to the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, see, we're going down, so this one is going to get stopped unless we SFP now, which we are getting down to the very bottom. We are starting to have the definite clipping. We have the oversold shown. We have the don't short it signal here, but not quite come back together yet. Oh, that's the 5 minute. Let's go down to 3 minute. We are turning though. We are clipping on the 3 minute. The true 7 indicator is completely bottomed and flat. But our money flow is coming out. Obviously, money flow coming out currently in the market. Let's see here. Nope. No bullish divergence gonna happen there on that version of it, that big kind of deal. So let's see. It's about to take that position over there. Bloop. What? we'll look at it. That's what we basically did yesterday, was we jumped in a little too early, agreed to a little bit of a loss, let it come down a little more, actually find the market structure, and then move. So, you know, there is that we were looking for. So, we're looking soon for a populate here. So let's see what are we doing here. So, oh, there we go. So what are we looking to find here? So see the order block it came back down into here. So it came into this order block here. Let's draw this rectangle for you. Let's draw this rectangle for you. There you go. Look at that. All of these have been taken. There was that. And where did the price just go to? Where did it just respond from? There we go. I mean, damn, that's good. And this is from Monday. That's Monday's low. And it didn't make a lower low. That is still a higher low than Monday. So that potentially is bullish if we can react and go. And we did not lose our position over here. So if it can react and go on Bitcoin, then this position here will go. We're already back in profits on this position here. 4 cents. Woo-woo. Wouldn't you pay for the fees? But let's see what happens. So let's go ahead and put our golden pocket on here, just for funsies, so we know that that is the golden pocket. We'll remove our dealio there. All right, so that was a tap. That was 59,126. Not quite the low here. Maybe that was all it needed. There's a little bit right here still, right below it. Let's draw this one here. So there's a little bit right here. Because let's see if we can zoom in and see the candlestick, candle wick. I don't know why I did that, but funny. All right, so where's our, there we go. So let's see which one it's gonna take. That could have been all it needed. Our true 7 is turning. Long indicator here, no spoons or anything, but we did. This is when you would want to, it's a lot better if your money flow is positive, but money flow is coming around. But this would be when you would want to long on his indicator here. You get his indicator package when you get into his Discord and pay for all of this awesomeness that he teaches you and the billions of videos that he has in there for you to learn all the things that I am using as well. So if you know, obviously I am not a teacher, honestly, but you know, hey, I guess you can kind of get maybe some teaching from me. I don't know if I would suggest that, but I'm just a guy clicking buttons, like Alex says. So I forgot to turn on music, guys. So tell me if it's too loud. And everything. We already got some music going on. I went back and looked at the stream from yesterday. It wasn't too bad. All right, so let's put the trade on the chart so we can visualize it for ourselves. So we are long from here with our stop loss set here. And what is our target? What is our target? So this one would only be a 0.5% move. It is something, but like I was saying, you know, yesterday I did take the money, but my stop loss is still going to be here. I'm not going to move my stop loss to get out or anything, to go get ready for work here in a little bit. Send y'all, hopefully all over to Alexo and watch them, or maybe watch Alexo and come back, watch me later and see how much of a dumbass I am, or a genius, whichever one it is. You know, I'm not really quite sure, or whatnot, but Bitcoin is maybe trying to reverse from here. Your MVP oscillator is definitely curving. So you definitely have the curve up. You had a little bit of the clipping, so we may not get a violent move out of this. But at least if we can get a return up, maybe just up here, that's still a valid move. Let's see, how far is that? That's a 0.5% on Bitcoin. So your other tokens that may move a little further, if Bitcoin moves a 0.5%, those tokens may move 1%, 1.5%, or 2%. So, you know, even if you can't leverage them at the same rate of Bitcoin, their volume that the price moves is exponential. So then your price movement is exponential. So you got to kind of do your math there, which one you're looking at, which one's working well for you, which one you're vibing with, or whatever kind of deal. So I did pretty good on Zcash yesterday. And I've done well on a few others. You know, the first cross trade that I did actually was I was short oil and long Bitcoin. Right when the notification that the Iran and US Israel bullshit was going away, I clicked the button, was like, hey, bam, this one's going to go this way. Oil's going to go down. Bitcoin's going to go up because the market's going to go up. And I did damn well on that one. Honestly, like, I think I did 300% something. So as we're talking and everything, we're watching this one move up in the market right now. So we're up $3 because we only put a $70 margin on this trade. Could have put a little more on it, but you know, it's early. Trying not to lose too much. You gotta preserve your capital. That's one thing I gotta learn is gotta preserve the capital and take the wins when they give it to you. Take what they give you. You know, kind of deal. That was one of the other things that I have also learned, because was not taking what they were giving me. I was trying to be greedy, and you know, that's not fun. Greedy is fun, but normally it doesn't work. So, as we're talking about that, let's look over here at the vaults. Let's see what the vaults are doing. So the vaults are back up, or it's up even a little further, 155%. So our position is now 161, and our total in our portfolio is up too. So I got some of that going on. I'm hopefully going to cross our $100,000 one here. I don't want to look at all my volume because the volume tiers, once we get to 100,000, we get to tier 1, and that cuts some of our taker fees down. So 0% maker fee. Taker fee is there smaller. It gets much smaller with the more volume that you're running and everything. And then you have rebate tiers as well for 30-day volume. So just showing you a little bit about the Strike exchange that you can use. It's a decentralized perpetual exchange, and you can use your EVM wallet, you can use your Solana wallet, or you can use your Cardano wallet. You can deposit funds with a credit card, you know, kind of deal here. So, and then bank transfers are coming soon. They're working on that one. But you could deposit with your wallet. My wallet is currently ADA wallet. So with ADA wallet, you can deposit ADA or USDM. With your EVM wallet, then you can deposit USDC. And with your Solana wallet, you can deposit USDC as well. And have the opportunity to earn that same 150% APR that I was showing you earlier. All right, so this is our first reaction, and if we have a negative reaction there, our order block that it's going to come back to is here, which is below our entry. Since we're currently looking right here, this would be green. This one would be red in my version of reality here that I am working with. Red is basically bearish, so look for shorts. Gold is golden pockets, kind of deal there. Green is look for longs. So your order blocks that are below your current price action would be bullish, come back to bullish. Your order blocks that are above your current price action would be bearish, so price enter and retrace. So that was one of the biggest things that I needed to learn in my trading, is that when price goes up, look for shorts. When price goes down, look for longs. And you have to find where to enter at if you're using your leverage trading. And I've found that where you look to enter at is previous order blocks, golden pocket 786s. If you're part of the Army Piper deal, the 887s. Actually, one of those that I was looking at this morning before I got on stream was an 887. So, shout out to Army Piper there. Go watch the Piper Academy. That's Army Piper and OC guy. They come live after Alex O. So there was our first tap of what we could be looking for on our entry that we have here. We are up 11% on this trade here. Let's see, what are we going to do here? Almost topping. You'll start to turn red here soon on his indicator on the 3-minute. Money flow is still coming out. We are rounding on the MVP oscillator. The true 7 has kind of come flat a little bit, so we'll see if this comes up. But if we can get our money flow to turn positive, let me see if I can draw this for you so you can even see what I'm looking at here, guys. So if we can get our money flow here to turn positive, when it crosses this line, it'll turn green on the chart, right? One second. Alrighty, so that's what we're kind of looking for there. This one here with it turning, if you're Alex O, or not, if you're an OC guy, you wait for the retest for the flip of the ribbon, and that's when you would enter his trades. He doesn't trade on the 3-minute, he trades more on a longer time frame, 15-minute, 1 hour kind of deal, lower leverage, larger margin positions, things like that. But my target for Bitcoin is coming back up into this area. Honestly, that's what I'm looking at. That would have been a good, Bitcoin trade as well, potentially. I don't know if I don't call that a bullish divergence, so that's why one of the reasons I didn't really get in there. This was a good bottom though. Look at that. See this bottom here? See this? That's good, but you look for the confirmation, so you wait for it to come up. By the time it confirmed, that was once it broke here, and now you're long, according to potentially the way that you would use his indicator if you have his indicator package. But this one would say don't look for longs now. Not saying get out of your longs, but don't get into a long now, essentially. And if you're using his 3-minute chart, trading on his 3-minute chart and his strategy, you wouldn't want to do that because a drawdown of that much would enter, like, your entire trade would go away. You'd hit your stop loss there. So that's why. But you also may be coming back up to this gap on Blowfin, honestly. When it happened, I said it was going to come back and fill that as well. So this is a price gap in their chart. I don't know if that chart would be anywhere else as well. Okay. Well, something just happened. Okay, so our trade is still in. I don't know what the hell happened there. Sometimes you just need to refresh. So 10%. There was a wick there that didn't SFP anything. Really and truly, our first SFP is gonna be up here. And the SFP is where the candle wick goes above the last price action, last above or below price action. Like this is an SFP here. So wick came down below price action, and then it closed, or it closed its candle body above the low of the previous candle. So that is an SFP. Then you wait for the candle to come back above the candle body, and that's where you enter. And if you enter and you see the long. Pretty crazy. When you really think about it, it's pretty crazy. All right, so we're getting into our first order of what we are looking at to potentially get out of this trade here. So we are up this way. Let's actually put it in so it knows we're in the trade and everything. So that would be, where is 1% at? So this is 1% here. That's a full good 1% move. But all right, let's take our take profit. Oh, it rejected it. Sorry. Here, let's, so 390.97. So stop loss at 390.97. Okay, so stop loss is in. We're going to be in profit. Okay, so no matter what, we'll be in profit. Stream ends in 8 minutes or so. So let's look for where we're going to set our take profit to make sure that we get this trade. So I really, let's see where Bitcoin has not closed this block here. It is trying to retrace a little bit real quick. But we have the flip of the ribbon, but this ribbon can flip back around over here. Oh, you can't even see what I'm looking at from my logo over here. So whatever. You can't even see that. All right, let's see. There's, yeah, if it's going to retrace, it's going to come back down to here. We've at least captured something. This would be like $3, $2, or whatever it is for this position by the time it comes back down to that, if that's where it's going to go. But let's all right, let's get the confirmation that our golden pocket is actually in the right place from the move. So yes, golden pocket is in the right place. You do have an order block here. No, where is that? We have an order block here. So, no, well, it's going to close my position anyway, isn't it? Bloop. There's the $4 or $5 I was talking about. Yep. It's going to come back down to this other one and create a bullish divergence and then go. It's going to come back down here. Well, we'll might as well just take it. Yep, there it goes. Bye. Alrighty, so so we got 4%. Woo! 4%. All of $3. All right. Woo woo. All right, so now we can look to potentially re-enter this trade down where I maybe should have waited for it in the first place. If I wasn't going to take it at the order block that I was looking at the retracement at, that's red on my screen. That was $10 instead of $3. Got to get better at it. I'm literally charting it for you here. I just didn't want to take it, and I've talked about how I have the problem of not wanting to take it. But you know, hey, we'll see. No positions open. Close that position. Took it away. Let's see if Bitcoin is going to come back down and actually hit this one, SFP. Make a bullish divergence, because once this price comes down below, then you have a price divergence here, and then this will come back together and you long again. But you typically don't long when this one is coming down to this one. You typically wait for it to come back into it. SFP. Yep. Didn't SFP this low, but it did it equal load so far. Equal low, close above. Order block. Bullish. Retest. Bam. Alright guys, well, that was fun. We made a couple of dollars. Like legitimately just a couple of dollars. You know, if I was trading with a little more funds, maybe it would have been a little more than a couple of dollars. You know, if that was like $600 margin, then that would have been, you know, a little more, and I probably would have taken it with the you know 10% that I was up, honestly. You know, but I gotta get my account to compound enough to get there. So you know, I'll be back tomorrow to see how it went. I don't know if I'm gonna get into another trade today. I'm be busy at work and everything. Doing my thing, but you know, honestly, if you want, you can look at this. This is a good trade here to come back to in this order block, and if we do get it, that would be over 1.5%, which you would be doing pretty good on Zcash there. So I will leave this one out for y'all. Also, this is Bitcoin over here, so we could be looking for something like that, you know, to happen. You're looking for a bullish divergence. You're looking for this one to come back up. But we'll be back tomorrow. I'll end you off with one of my commercials. I do want y'all to know I am the owner of A Cellular. We run in the United States. We can provide your cell phone service through your decentralized and very secure way of running a cellular network. It runs completely different than all of the big threes. If you want some more information, look me up, hit up my website, hit me up on Twitter or anything else like that, X, whatever you want to call it. And y'all have a great day. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Are you still stuck with your big wireless? Overpaying? Are you locked in a contract? Were you buried in that fine print? Yeah, I thought so. Ditch your carrier. Switch to World Mobile today. We have no contracts, no early termination fees. We play no games. We have plans that start at just $15 a month. Bring your crew and you get a discount on top of that. Up to 4 lines or more, and you're saving 30% each line. Are you paying full price? I sure am not. I got my built-in VPN, my encrypted connectivity, my identity protection. Your old carrier, they give you excuses. We give you control. Stop funding the outdated networks. Own your own connection. World Mobile. Switch to the smarter network.